More books back from CGC. This is a 25 book economy order. Let's talk about the books, where I got them, what I thought the grades were, how much they're worth. How did I do? Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do our long overdue 2,500 subscriber giveaway live here on YouTube Tuesday, November 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's probably tonight based on when I'm scheduling this video to drop. I'm going to look at videos that I put out in the month of May. I'm going to choose the one video that has the fewest amount of comments and randomly pick the winners from there. I think we're going to have multiple prizes. I'm still deciding on what the prizes will be. And then we're going to move forward. We're getting close to 3,000 subs. We'll probably, hopefully, if we get to that threshold, do our 3,000 subscriber giveaway at the beginning of December. Also follow us on the other socials, Instagram, Bronzeville_comics. Whatnot, the same, Bronzeville_comics. I do sales most Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Next Monday is Halloween. That was yesterday, so I didn't do one yesterday. Just check to see when I have shows scheduled. And there's also a link in the description. If you use that link, you get $10 off your first purchase if you're not yet on Whatnot. And also in the description is a link to my eBay store where some of these books might eventually go. So, 25 book economy order. Let's just talk about some specifics. So I sent this in through my LCS on August 3rd of this year with a fast track. So you pay $15 a book extra to fast track it. So hopefully the values of the books are, I'm hoping at least $200 for the most part. There might be a few that dip under that because in terms of the grading fees and the fast track fees. But it's worth it because I submitted an economy order non-fast track a while back. Actually, I submitted that on April 27th. I'm still waiting for that. And I had Erod press some books in the economy standard tier, and he mailed those to CGC on January 2nd. Still waiting for those. So that's what I have. So these came back to my LCS. Hopefully the box kept the slabs in good shape. So far, knock on Formica, had good luck with grades, with slabs, damage or lack thereof, damaged slabs. So of these books, there are 25 books in the order. 24 were purchased as part of collection. So I don't really have what I paid for them except for one book, and we'll talk about that when it comes up. And 23 of the 25 I cleaned and pressed myself. 2 others I didn't clean or press, and we'll talk about those when we see them. Those are the 2 books that came from the more recent collection. The rest of the books I actually picked up in collections back in 2021 in the fall. They're from 2 collections. So let's dig into the box and see what we got. I don't know the grades, so we're going to do a grade reveal here. I sealed the box just for, I don't know. Just for the drama of it. So everything looks to be shipped pretty sturdily. Now the slabs are coming in these new, more heavy-duty polyethylene bags. So let's just break into it. We'll talk about the significance of them, and we'll get started. I'll talk about what I thought the grades were. So, this is the first book I have. I put my books in alphabetically, so if that's the way it is, we'll see these. This is Action Comics number 340. This is a 1966 book. It's the first appearance of the Parasite. This I got in that big collection I picked up I think it was last October, with 2,000 books that were in milk crates that hadn't been touched in 40 years. So a lot of those books are in pretty high grade. This was in reasonable. I had a higher end and mid grade. I thought it would grade at a 6.5, and it came back as a 5.5. Okay, ouch. Off-white pages. And I'm not sure exactly what held it down. Maybe we'll take a look at some grader's notes on that. So, okay, 0 for 1, a -1 in terms of my grading. If the next book is, if they're in alphabetically, in the order in which I submitted the next book, I already know the grade, or I would be very shocked if I came back as anything else. Yeah, this is Amazing Spider-Man number 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. As you can see, the trade dress has been removed. This, I imagine, was a return copy. It's going to be a 0.5 all day. Off-white pages. Yeah, and even there's tape on it. So I knew what that was going to be the whole time. But figure a book of that significance, I would get it encapsulated. So fortunately, we still see the artwork with Green Goblin and Spider-Man and the Hulk and the Enforcers on there. So I knew all day that was a 0.5. It's never going to be better than that. That actually I picked up in a recent collection, and that was one of the books I didn't press or clean because I knew I wasn't going to be able to improve it at all from a 0.5. Next up is a book I had gotten from a collection I picked up last Thanksgiving weekend. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 121. It's the death of Gwen Stacy. You can see there's an S by Spider-Man's arm between his arm and the pictures of Gwen and Aunt May. That was the major limiting factor. There was some rough on the spine. I had this as a 3.5, and it's a 3.5 off-white pages. Okay, so that's what I expected. Can't complain with that. Up next, this is a little bit lower grade than I would have liked it to have been. It came as part of that big collection, and it's Astonishing Tales 25, which has two areas of significance. It is, if we can see it here, the first appearance of Deathlock, and it's the first George Perez work in comics. The last 2 pages. Rich Buckler, I think, did the artwork otherwise on this book, right? Rich Buckler and Doug Mensch. Story, Rich Buckler art. So I had this as a 5.0. 5.0. Off-white pages. Okay? Well, no disappointment there. That also came from the large collection. The large collection, I was figuring this out because these were mainly from 2 collections. The collection that book came from, I paid about $4 a book. And the other collection this one came from the secondary collection. The Action Comics came from the big one. This came from a smaller one, and I figured $9 a book for those comics. But those books there was no filler in that at all, and a lot of higher grade stuff. So up next, an Avengers Silver Age book. This is the first appearance of Valkyrie. Let's see how CGC denotes it. First appearance of the Liberators, Black Widow, Medusa, Enchantress appearance. So it's kind of the first unofficial appearance of Valkyrie, the first appearance of the Liberators. And I had this as a 7.0. 5.5. Oof. We'll have to take a look at the grader's notes on that one. I see a little bit of staining on the top of the back cover, but yeah. We'll take a look at the grader's notes on that one too. I'll put them up on the screen. There's a little crease, color-breaking crease down by Goliath's hand. It's a nice, as I say, nice presenting copy. So 2 disappointments. Haven't had any pluses yet. The next 3, if I have them all, are all Captain Marvel books. Captain Marvel. Number 17. This is where I believe he gets the Negabands. Is that what they're called? Yeah, when he kind of Shazams it with Rick Jones there in number 17. I had this as an 8.5, and it came back as an 8.0 off-white pages. Okay. I could take a 1 grade off. That's not bad. I'll take that. I've been putting the fair market values down here below. Up next, this one I thought was pretty high grade. This is number 21 with this Hulk battle. And this particular collection did have some high grade late silver, early bronze books. Some of the stuff was in really nice shape. And I had this as a 9. It came back as a 9. Off-white pages. Very good. Very nice. Gil Kane cover. That is cool. Again, there's not going to be any 9/8s in here. I think that was one other book I thought might be a 9 and some 8.5s, but mostly 5.5, 6.5, 7s, because these are bigger books, generally speaking. Number 27 should be up next of Captain Marvel, and that's the first full appearance, I guess, of Star Fox. We saw him portrayed by Harry Styles in the restored. Yikes! What happened here? Oh, that is disappointing. I had this as a 6.5. So 7.5 came back nicer than I thought. Let's see what we got here. What does it say? Small amount of color touch on cover. Let me take a look at my notes and see if I thought that was a possibility. Not great there. Not real pleased with that. Okay, so slight blunting, slight tanning back cover. Yeah, I didn't have anything in my notes that indicated the possibility of color touch. Not sure. I mean, probably if they detected it, I'm going to guess that it was somewhere in the black there. So, yeah, that's disappointing. Because that's a pretty decent grade for that book, a 7.5. But a restored 7.5. Yeah, I'm not sure where that color touch is. That's disappointing. Okay. Because unfortunately, they don't give you an indication of where they found it. Okay, this also came from that really big collection. Think about it. If these are in order, Conan the Barbarian number 5. I just thought this was reasonably high grade. I had this as an 8.5, and it is just that it was a high grade early Conan Barry Windsor Smith art. I thought it was an 8.5, and it came back as a 9.0. Very nice, off white to white. Okay, that's a plus. Yeah, that is a sharp book. There, the single digit Conan book. I'll be interested to see the FMV on that. Cool. Happy with that. And we're rolling right along. Defenders number 1, the first ongoing Defenders book. I already have this in a 9.2. I thought this particular copy was about an 8.0. That was my predicted grade. And it came back as an 8.5. Okay. So, not bad. Yeah. Can't complain there. So, that doesn't supplant my 9.2. So, I'll move this one. Now that we have some Doctor Strange and Submariner and Hulk all in the MCU simultaneously, it'd be interesting to see if they do anything with them. Now we have, next should be another Defenders book. Number 17. This is the first, I think, the first appearance of the Wrecking Crew, and it's a Luke Cage appearance. So this had gotten some significance attached to it when the Defenders Netflix series was out with Luke Cage as a member there. He does become later a member of the Defenders proper, and also people were speculating on the Wrecking Crew being in She-Hulk, and they were. And yeah, they didn't really help the desirability of Wrecking Crew keys. I had this as an 8.0, 8.5 white pages. Okay. I'll take that. That book still has some value. I mean, it is a book from 1974 in an 8.5. Up next, oh, then we got some nice ones. This also from that very large collection. Doctor Strange #1. This is the first of his new ongoing series. He did have that ongoing series that continued from Strange Tales, and then he got a #1 after he kind of been in kind of on comic book hiatus for a while, and then he got the Marvel Premiere books and came back here. So this also has, let's see, first appearance of Silver Dagger, story continued from Marvel Premiere 14. So I had this book graded at a 5.5. 5.0 off White Pages. So one below, one grade down. Largely, I think it's because of, that might be a little, I'm trying to see what else I see here. Because I do see this in the bottom right corner. All right, yeah, you see that. It's some multiple creasing. Back looks okay. What did I have as the other issues on this? There is some other creasing that isn't as evident, I guess. Hard to see through the slab, maybe? Tiny amount of chipping on top back cover. Yeah, there's like an abrasion almost on the top back cover. So, yeah. That tiny bit of disappointment in that book. 5.0. I don't know what the value is there. Now we get some nice ones. We're going back. We have some Kirby Fantastic Four. Okay, up next, number 44. First appearance of Gorgon. Letter from Dave Cocker. I had this as a 7.0. This, look at that, the whitest white there. I had this as a 7.0, and it came back as a 6.5 off White Pages. Okay. Yeah, I mean, close. Close to my prediction. So, not bad. Not bad. Up next, number 51. First appearance in the Negative Zone. I think it's just this classic cover. And this is kind of the respite between the Galactus Silver Surfer trilogy and the first Black Panther. All of which were part of this collection. The 44 was the lowest issue in that collection that I picked up, and it went well past 200 every single issue. So it was an awesome collection. This I had as a 6.5. 7.5. Nice. Nice. That is a nice book. 1966, 7.5. It is off White Pages, but it's 1966. It's FF51. 55, another classic cover. This was a little more worn. You can see the spine stress there. So this is not as in nice condition. I had this as a 5.5. And it came back as a 6.0. Okay. I'll take that. Classic cover. And, you know, anything Silver Surfer is kind of, I think people are just waiting for some sort of announcement. If you didn't see the news, I think we were waiting for a big announcement of major characters to come to the MCU in the Guardians of the Galaxy special. If you didn't see the trailer, watch it. It's actually really hilarious. Up next, 57. Oh, look at that Doom cover. Look at that Doom cover. I had this as a 6.0. And it comes back as a 7.0. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. This classic Doctor Doom cover. Nice Norman Rockwell back there. Awesome. Yeah, like it had all these FF keys. The big keys, I haven't. The biggest keys I already got back. I'll post a link to that video here. The mid-range keys, like the first Black Bolt, first Invaders, the two hymn books, those are in a separate submission. Those Erod pressed and cleaned, and so yeah, these I did. Another classic cover. Look at that Silver Surfer cover, number 72. I had this as a 6.0. You can see there's some stuff going on at the top there, and on the side there's like a reader's crease. I had it as a 6.0. Let's just refocus. It came back as a 5.0. Okay. Off-white to white. Still. Yeah, I guess just a few too many spine stress lines. Was there something in the middle of the book too? Yeah. Still a beautiful cover. Two more FF books. This, number 75. Oh, talk about classic covers. Kirby just kept bringing them. I had this as a 7.0. And it came back as a 7.0 off-white pages. Very nice. Very happy with that. Yeah, a little bit of a tear back in the top there kind of limits it. But yeah, no, I'm can't complain there. And then my final FF book in this submission, another classic Kirby cover, and this was a really sharp copy. Look at this. I had this as an 8.5. I would love. That would be a great grade for this classic book. And it came back as a no. Oh my God. Oh my friggin' Christmas. Oh wow. Wow. 9. Are you kidding me? 9.4. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is amazing. That is so gorgeous. Oh, wow. I am very interested to see the FMV in that book. Wow. I did not expect. I expected to maybe, a 9 on one of these. I think we got 1 9 earlier. I did not expect a 9.4. And look, I mean, oh my God. Yeah. This is beautiful. Beautiful. And it was interesting because the copy had grease pencil up here above the F with the date on it, and I was able to get rid of that. And again, all of these books I pressed and cleaned myself. So I'm oh my God, I'm ecstatic with that result. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, up next. Okay, now we're past the Fantastic Four part of our show. Oh, we still have some really good stuff. And this is from the other collection I got. This I picked up on Thanksgiving weekend. It is the Marvel Premiere 15, the first appearance of Iron Fist. That was funny. I was just going through. I pulled out of a box Marvel Premiere 17. I'm like, where's 15? Why isn't 15? I forgot it. It had already been submitted. I had this at an 8.0, a 5 white pages. Very nice. Very nice. This particular collection was more bronze, very little silver. I think it had some Avengers. It had a lot of Iron Fist. It had, I think, every single issue of both Marvel Premiere and Iron Fist. And so I think actually the first Sabretooth is in the press right now on that one. That's a good book. That's a good book. Very nice. Up next, this book is 2 onlys for this submission. It is the only book that I paid for that I didn't get as part of a collection. I bought solo. It's the only DC book because I'm a DC guy. been speculating. I just thought I thought it looked good, and I thought it was a good deal. I paid. Sea Devils #1. They premiered in Showcase, and I got this. I spent $73.70 on this. This is a book from 1961, right? So this, is one of those early DC keys. It's still a 10-center. This is like before, Amazing Fantasy 15. That's how old this book is. I thought it was a 6.0. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. 8.0 for, Sea Devils #1 isn't a huge, I think this is staying in the PC. I think I just got to hold on to this. That is, oh man. And who did the cover there? Russ Heath. Look at that. That cover is amazing. 8.0 for a 61-year-old book. Wow. That is great. Oh, wow. I'll fight to white, but whatever. Nice. Very happy with that one. Very happy. Interested to see the FMV. Then we have 4 books remaining. Yeah, 4 left. It was nice that they're all in the order I have them on my list. When I submit books, I submit everything in alphabetical. I'm just, that's the way I organize things. Okay, this is later Silver Age. Silver Surfer 14, team up with Spider-Man. This is this Kirby or Buscema? Buscema and Adkins. Silver Surfer 14, crossover with Spider-Man. Does it have any? I think it's just Spider-Man crossover. Oops, my monitor. Spider-Man appearance. This I thought was an 8.0. Oh, no. Yeah, I thought this was an 8.0. 8.0. All 5 pages. Very nice. Nice book. Happy with that. Up next is another Silver Surfer book. It's the final book of the run. Right? I'm pretty sure it is, if I remember correctly. Number 18. What is the significance they say there? Inhumans appearance, last issue. Yeah, this is the last issue of the run. I thought this was also an 8.0. And it came back as a 7.5. All 5 pages. Okay. Still a good book. Right? Hold on to some Silver Surfer stuff. Very, very cool. Just 2 to go. This one I thought was particularly high grade. And it's Submariner number 34. Hulk and Silver Surfer appearance. Prelude to first Defenders story. Yeah, this is kind of a Defenders prototype. It looks I had this, I might be a little optimistic. Just based on like looking at the top. I had this as a 9.0. Came back a 9.2. I was not. Wow. Wow, a 9.2. That is great. I mean, this submission, I capped out my predictions at 9.0. So, I mean, to get a 9.2, I'm really happy with. Really happy with that. So I'm a Defenders collector. Maybe I have to keep this one. Not sure. Oh, 9.2. And then the final book. This is a book that I picked up in a recent collection. I did not clean or press it. There's a reason for that. It's the first Sentinels. And the reason is, if we can turn around, is that. I didn't know what that stain was, if it was black mold or not. I just wanted to encapsulate it. I thought this was like a 3.0. It was complete, It's got some, roughness on the spine. If there's somebody that thinks they can kind of do something with this, go at it. There is staining all over. 2.0. Yeah. Okay. All 5 pages. I think, yeah, I just didn't want to deal with that. Yeah. I guess that amount of staining is going to limit it to the 2.0. So that is the submission. 25 books. And I guess the moral of the story is that, 2 things. I think my grading is pretty, pretty on point. some fluctuation there. So still some fine tuning. And again, anytime you get a submission like this back, it's always a learning experience, always just more knowledge to put in. And also, I felt that this, it demonstrates that, in addition to my previous submission, that I'm doing the right thing in terms of cleaning and pressing. I think I'm getting the books up to close to their potential grade. And the other thing is, fast track is the way to go for economy. This came back in, 2.5 months. This one came back. I'm still waiting on stuff from 9.5 months ago that did not get fast tracked. I would not fast track modern. The only reason I would see to fast track modern is if you have a brand new book and you want to be the first one to market with it. But definitely for economy, fast track. For modern, just wait. And for most moderns, probably a pre-screen is a good idea. So I'm going to be back in just a second. We'll go over the FMVs and I'll add it all up and we'll wrap it up. Okay, so let's wrap this up. When I looked at the fair market value of all 25 books, and in some cases I had to make a rough estimate because there haven't been many recent sales. Like that Sea Devils #1 is not a book that you see often, but at an 8.0, I estimated, based on sales from a couple of years ago, that it's about a $400 book. And the Submariner number 34 is also not a book that you see quite often. So the total value of all 25 books, fair market value, came out to $6,264. The best book, interestingly, is the book with the lowest grade. It has the highest fair market value, and that's the Amazing Spider-Man 14, the first Green Goblin. Even in a 0.5, that is an FMV of $522. I did see a book that looked almost identical to that, with the trade dress removed at a 0.5, that sold for close to $1,000. And that was one of the reasons for sending it in. The other books that were in kind of the $400 range were the Fantastic Four, 84 and the 9.4. That makes sense. The Marvel Premiere 15 in an 8.5. That has a fair market value of about $440. That first appearance of Iron Fist. And you can only imagine if Iron Fist comes to the MCU. There's really been zero speculation about that. And then, as I said, that Sea Devils book, there are only 251 books on the census, and only 38 are graded higher than an 8.0. That I roughly estimated at $400. So if I kind of put everything together, the collection I picked up recently, I've almost paid for. Those were some of the bigger books. So let's say that those two books cost me probably, $150 between the two of them out of that collection. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books, another 45. Let's round it to 200. And then the 75, 275, and then about $4 a piece. We're talking about under $400. Did the books cost me in the submission? It cost about another $1,000 to have them graded and shipped and fast-tracked. So I'm into the books for probably about $1,500, and they're worth about $6,200. So, potentially in the quadruple up range there, because it's hard to tell because they came as part of collections. And what I have to do is take the total value of the collection, see what I'm able to sell from that collection, and break it down that way. That does take quite a bit of time, and I do keep pretty comprehensive records. Now, there are 25 books in the submission. 10 were graded higher than my estimate. 8 were graded lower than my estimate. That means that 7 were I was spot on. And I think the biggest, the one below was the Avengers, the first Valkyrie. That was 3 grade points below my prediction. And I'm going to say that the FF was 3 above. Right? No, 4 above, actually. From an 8.5... 3 above. 9, 9, 2, 9, 4. 3 above. No, I'm sorry. The Sea Devils was 4 above. I estimated that at 6, and it came back an 8. So that was probably the biggest plus in terms of grading of the books. Other than that, I was within 2 grade levels either way for the most part. So I'm confident that I'm grading reasonably accurately, which is important in terms of knowing what books you should submit. They have to have a certain amount of value for it to make sense, especially when you're going to fast track it, to make sense for it to be submitted. You don't want to take a book that's a 3.0 that only makes that is worth $100 in a 9.0 and submit a 3.0. You don't want to do that. So anyway, it's getting late. That's my haul video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you return for more. I still have 2. Well, actually, I have more than that. I have 2 25-book submissions at CGC. A Modern, which should come back soon. An Economy, which was not fast-tracked. Who knows? And an Economy that was sent out in January of 11 books. Who knows? I should be getting... I got a couple of walkthroughs and an Express that were submitted last week. So hopefully we'll be getting those soon. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos, including the big books I got back from that collection that had all the FFs. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.